Yeah, hello, test. Um, Morning, guys. We are just going to go over this ETH BTC from yesterday. This practice day trade that I'm trying to show you. Um, Bring these back over here. That's why I don't like messing around with this stuff on the weekend because I have to keep adjusting where everything is. But it's all right because I want to show you guys this. And it's fun too. Since we are degenerates and feel the need to be trading on a Sunday at 3 o'clock in the morning, we might as well know how this works, because otherwise we're just going to waste our time um, giving our money back to these um, to the sun, re-energizing the sun, the compost heap. Um, okay, so we got into this last night when we saw the numbers were, let's just break this down here quickly. So originally we saw this, anticipated it to be going up, right? Because, where's our ETH gone? Here it is. Because at this time, ETH was 95. It's now at 45. BTC was at 86. It's now at 57. It changed around here to ETH being on the lower side of BTC. And not once during this period did the numbers switch back to say otherwise. They always remained um, on this side where ETH is lower than BTC from this point on. This is the point we sold. Our numbers here are showing us a bigger difference, a larger spread than originally when we got into this. Here when it changed over, obviously the spread was around 1, and then it hovered around 3, 4, back to 1, 3, 4, and then finally it's come down to about a 10-point difference, 12-point difference. So this emotionally saved our asses because we didn't care about anything else. We didn't look up support or resistance, anything. The only two things that would have got us out of this during this was if the numbers switched, or if we suddenly saw ETH USD 100 buys all across the board and holding, or and BTC USD saying 100 sells. At the same time, what we saw, I didn't show you this, but I should have, but I didn't think to do it. But I've added these in anyway. ETH, BTC, on the retail side of things, you have too many buyers. Yes, that doesn't mean just go in and sell, but it gives you a foundation to build your trade from. Should this play out? That's how we look at this, because we know they can run price where retail gets paid for a period of time, but because it's on the monthly, all they're doing is accumulating their positions and to trap them, and they may think they're in a good trade for like a week, but you got to remember the next 3 weeks of the month. There's still 3 weeks left of the month. These guys can just smash it back the other way, or the sun can just smash it back the other way, because it's not people doing this. This is not people. This is people being controlled remotely by the sun that are doing this, and this is their emotions. The trail is left here and here, um, that the sun is doing, and it's our job to read this. And this skips the process of reading the astrology every single day. We can do that, but that means we have to all become astrologers, which takes 10 years to master at least. So go ahead and start studying that by all means, and study gematria also. And once you can study all of those, then I believe we should be able to use these numbers to figure out the exact target or low of the day, because this is a prescriptive reality, as we've demonstrated. It's all predestinated and prescripted, and this is not people, this is not man that is controlling this code. It is the sun. The man down below is acting out this code, leaving a physical copy of it on the ground, and that's how the world works. So now all we have to do in order to keep this for longer, because we're thinking, okay, this is the 1440 moving average, we're now getting emotional. What do we do? Well, it's likely to form some sort of support, but it might not bounce, it might just hold and drop lower. Well, how do we know what's going to happen? Well, we just simply look at these numbers. We know there it's 51 and 63, so we've got a 12 difference, which is nice. As price has hit this imaginary line, price is now at 56 on the BTC side and 48 on the ETH side. So we've gone from a 12 difference to an 8 difference in a short period of time. So it might be a place to take one profit, or just do one for the purpose of this video. In the event there's some sort of bounce, and we can maximize this. And while we're doing that, we're at 54.46, so it's an 8 difference still. And you just watch these numbers, just keep watching them as it's happening. Let's take a look at the LTC one, because we were working on that too. LTC. Okay, what happened here was we were anticipating an up move. Yeah, I know it seems weird. You've got an up move here and a ETH down move at the same possible scenario. But yeah, we know that's possible because some of these have too many buyers and some have too many sellers. So we are allowed to go both ways, and dollar is negative. So again, for all those believing that this is a free market and they invented crypto for people wishing to be completely decentralized, have got to wake up, because this is not a private market at all. This is clearly the same as the currencies, which is owned and operated by the sun. Essentially, you are not free. Even with crypto, it's rigged, pre-scripted. So the faster everyone wakes up to that, the faster we'll be able to use this to our advantage through the age of Aquarius, which is going to be crypto, not currencies. The smart people will be working in crypto, and the sheep will be working in currencies, being paid social credit system. But we shouldn't energize that, because if we speak or talk about these things, all it does is energize the opposition, and it fuels it further. So we'll try to keep those types of names, the C word as the C word, the W word as the W word, or we'll just try never to speak about these things, because they're not real. They're not real. Okay, if you look outside for the last 2 years since the C word begun, did anyone actually see any more ambulances or any more funeral cars driving around? No, you didn't. The answer is no. And if you look outside and you ask yourself, was the sky still blue? Were the squirrels still fine? Was the grass still there? And were the pigeons still fine? The answer is yes. Which means the C word was just on TV. Which means the opposition of the C word was just on TV. It means it doesn't exist either, because how can it exist if the original or the origin did not exist in the first place? Like I say, it's just events in the sky being acted out on the ground symbolically. And controlled by the people who worship the sun, who we won't even mention their names, the J words, because if we mention their name, it fuels their energy further. Okay, so LTC, BTC. This, we were anticipating up. The numbers were like this: 85 BTC, LTC 87, so 87 stronger. There was a changeover around here. It was around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. I already made a video at that point, so I didn't bother making another one. And that was that. There's no point in there was no point in doing anything here. This thing is in and out of being opened and closed on the weekend, LTC, by the looks of it. So ETH is really a better one to be weekend trading, because this thing, look, it just gaps open and stops and randomly starts back up. I should know the time schedule of this, but I don't. Haven't done my homework. That's why we're practicing these cryptos on a demo. Okay. So we know at this point, if we were to be short, would we be allowed to be short? BTC is at 55 and LTC is at 35. So we would be allowed to be short. There's a 20-point difference. If the numbers remain at 20, we're good. Look, it's now at that 56 and that was 35. So we'll go ahead and do a demo sell if this thing lets us on this Sunday. Oh, it did. Okay, great. So we'll put a line here and just put 20-point difference. And we'll come in and fill the numbers later, but we want to write in 20-point difference so we can remember that. So we don't have to remember that, rather. Oops. And then we'll just go over the numbers real quick. Oops. Excuse me. That'll do. Okay. Let's just move this crap back over here. Get this thing nice and clean again. Oh my god. It's too early. I need a beer. Right. 47 XRP. It's changed already to 42, but I've got 47. Like I said last night, we were seeing no more 100 buys. There most likely won't be any follow through. This thing's going to quiet down, stop, go sideways, whatever. That's what we've seen. There was no new highs. How did we know that? Well, the numbers told us that. 45, 45. 47/42, whatever. Put in 42 if you want. Let's change that. Actually, no, I'm not going to change it because I've already done this at the time. This here is 49. It's already gone from 69 to 49. I did these numbers half an hour ago, guys. So this is obviously selling, which is telling us, giving us the clue that from our currency research that the CAD being strong is likely going to suck the dollar back up. And the dollar's not in fact weak. It's still strong. Maybe it takes out the high and then starts the drama again, then comes down. I don't know. We don't know if or when it's going to come down. We're not that good yet, but one day we will be good enough to know the exact predetermined targets, daily highs and weekly highs and monthly highs of this thing. So the more we practice, the more we study, the more we research, the more we pull this thing apart, the closer we will get to knowing all those numbers precisely. Then once we have those, we will literally have the market. They will never change it. They can't change it because the sun controls it. So they will just scare us away from it, but they can't. Because this is all about fueling energy from the people. How does it fuel energy from the people? It fuels their work. It gets energy off the people doing 15 hours a day work and throwing money into this thing, losing money and making money. It's all a big energizing process for the sun. So it can test new events on us. So the next event, which is concerning, the next theme it does want to do is and is pre-scripted for 2033 to 2040 is transhumanism. So if you've noticed what is real over the last 5 years, when you walk around the streets, the people are different. They are not the same anymore. They are staring at cell phones. They have masks on their faces for absolutely no reason. They have earphones with no wires attached to their ears. They don't open the door for you anymore. They don't ask you what floor you want to go up to on the elevator. Things like that. They're not polite. They're not human. So at the end of the day, if we do go down that road to transhumanism, as the sun wants to do that, it wants to test this realm out and gain energy that way. Should we, as organic people, be upset about this? No, we shouldn't, because those people are not real from the point around 5 years ago. They're not real. They think we are monkeys on a spinning ball. Okay, that's what these people think. They think we are monkeys on a spinning ball. So, and they think that everything is a coincidence. They believe everything they were told from the reality that was given to them from school at 2 years old, which is all fake. You would get a better conversation out of a squirrel than a human being, the average human being nowadays. So, is the sun going to succeed? I think so. But there is a chance in 2027 this whole thing collapses and doesn't work out. In the astrology, it says that. But I'm thinking the sun still goes ahead with its plan, as the sun is the ruler. And if that happens, then we'll get a completely divided society of two realms within one. So a social credit system transhuman realm with drones delivering Uber food deliveries and Amazon deliveries, and 3D printer is making all of this shit for people. And then the parallel society, which will be people in nature, will be sharing and exchanging of services, and in a divine love with one another. That's what I think is going to happen, and they won't be able to. There'll be no participating between the two societies, because they'll over time they'll gradually tell the transhuman society in the condos in the dystopian AI martial law cities, with the dot tattoo on the right hand, they'll tell those guys that is where their realm is. They won't actually know there's an outside, um, just as we don't know there's beyond the known world. We think the furthest country is Australia, right? But it's not. There's more continents after that. Look into it. It's all there for you. Um, Vibes of Cosmos YouTube channel. He'll show you all of it, where we are, where we actually are. So yeah, that's looking good here. Dollar up next week if I had a gun to my head. 39 for LTC, Zcash 61, already at 54. This is showing us, look, it's huge. This stuff is moving down. You really want to be short crypto for the next little day trading, few sessions, whatever. Just check the numbers, keep an eye on the numbers. Anything changes, then by all means take it the other way. But this should mean chop or down. Just move this stuff over here. Neo 56. The other one is ETH USD 52. Okay. Those are the numbers, folks. Have them all in, and then we'll once we have this move down, we'll take a look and try to figure out where we're going from then. We're going to be looking for fewer sellers in one of these, that kind of thing. We'll build a plan around this, and we'll try to do that next crypto video, either the end of today or midweek, but most likely we'll do some more on next weekend. But yeah, if I don't do any more videos today, it's been a pleasure. Hope you all learned something. Exit this when these numbers change, or if you see giant hundreds on the ETH or BTC USD. But yeah, that's the video. Thanks a lot, guys.